Hello, I would like to give an update about my Buddhist meditation practice. Um, 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 I'm I'm finding that there is a certain theme or like recurring kind of content in my meditation throughout a workday. I will kind of be stressed out or have like challenging emotions and just feel basically stressed out, and then I can uh, go to my mindfulness practice and realize that I have nothing, that basically that it's a perfect opportunity to meditate and kind of like bask in the um like the naked Rigpa awareness energy. And it's basically like a perfect opportunity, and I have so much to be grateful for. So it's like basically you forget about gratitude. People tend to forget about the fact that we do have a good situation. um Basically there's a lot to be grateful for, and we forget. It's so funny how I forget and people tend to forget that the meditation, that basically the situation is conducive to meditation, and people do not remember that. They stray away from the perfection of wisdom, the prajna paramita. And the fact is that this happens so much more than would even begin to make sense, because actually the truth of it is completely like very, very strange. Um, the truth of the perfection of wisdom, the prajna paramita, is something that the Lotus Sutra describes, and it's something which is completely out there, totally weirder than anything you could possibly imagine. It's because we forget that we have all of these things to be grateful for, and that the situation is perfectly conducive to meditation, that we have nothing basically to gain beyond what we already have, because we already have the perfect situation, the perfectly conducive situation. The situation that's perfectly conducive to meditation is right here, right now, at every point that I think about that throughout the day. And you could say you could say that's the truth all the time. I don't really want to say that, but maybe you could say that. But the fact is that that's the truth through these moments when we feel like we are in a place where we can't align ourselves with our energy in a way which is conducive to peace of mind for ourselves and others. But honestly, there there isn't a situation when you can't do that. You can always do that, and that's the really kind of far out thing that people don't quite get, is that you can, I mean, I don't want to say you can always align ourselves that way, but I think we can. um, And sometimes, it's not necessary to like to make sacrifices and like to die for a cause sort of a thing. I think there's always a way basically to reconcile it so that um so that it's a win-win situation for everybody, but people basically make ethical concessions. And I think to some extent you might have to um I don't know if I want to say that exactly. um I think that sometimes a person might have to give themselves. No, I don't think that you have to ever give yourself over to a cause like that. That doesn't really make sense. I think there's always a way to use mindfulness to bring more consciousness to a situation. But that this is what's very like far out that the Lotus Sutra talks about, is that you can, like, through mindfulness, uh trying to think about what I'm saying exactly. um just that sometimes there's like you think about like the martyr kind of a person, but I don't think that that doesn't necessarily make sense, because I think there's always a way to have like a win-win situation for everybody. And there's like a specific dynamic to what I'm trying to say, but I'm not sure if I know how to like put words to it exactly, but I know what I'm trying to say sort of. um I guess it basically doesn't matter one way or the other whether or not like a martyr type of a situation would ever make sense. That doesn't really even matter necessarily. It's really just that the mindfulness has efficacy beyond what we usually imagine it might, and there's a way to end up win-win for everybody that we're not accessing, and we should be more critical of ourselves, and we should focus more in ways where we can access higher consciousness and kind of embody the perfection of wisdom, the prajna paramita, maybe to like greater and greater degrees. Um, and we should embody spiritual aloneness and autonomy, more and more to greater and greater degrees. Um, and understand that there's different levels of truth, kind of working through these different things that come up, and remembering remembering the thing that's most important, which is basically, you could say, the Zazen practice and all of the things that go along with the Zazen practice. And we have to give up, we have to make sacrifices for our yoga practice. But the truth of spirituality is the exact opposite of what society basically tells you is like goodness and truth. The true goodness of yoga practice is almost basically like the opposite of what social morality says morality is, because um yeah, the truth is something very serious, like utterly ridiculously horrendously serious, and it's a private internal inward personal matter, and the truth is um it's aloneness, essentially. And it's like when um I don't know, that's all I want to say for now.